League 5 MRC GTCC CCC. I can still never get that right. I hope everyone's well. Nice evening here. It's a little bit overcast, and we'll take you through how the drivers qualified and then get on with the race. So here we are in pole position. Not a real surprise here, but he's driving extremely well. But is Beserker-Boy, closely followed by his arch nemesis MacGyver. 558 has come up with a good qualifying session here of third place. He's been looking quite tasty all weekend, so see how he gets on. Zafiro in the Red Bull NSX, he's again qualified very well here. It's not surprised, he's a consistent driver, he's doing well, so hopefully good things for him. Dragon Eagle in the Citroen in 5th. Total Rose in the lead Ferrari in 6th place. I've had a chat with this driver. He's now, as everyone has having trouble saying his name, Heliage PTRT, he's actually called Holy Peter. So, Holy Peter, how are you going to get on with this one today? Nice livery there in the HKS sponsored Porsche. Beserker-Boy looking at the tailpipes of his fellow Ferrari driver here in 8th. Did I see Holy Pete was in 4th? No, he's not, it's in 7th. Anyway, Savage in the other Team Firestone Porsche in 9th. Seamus in the other second HKS sponsored Beamer in 10th. De Burger in the Shell sponsored Citroen 11th. Skivett, our Scottish friend here, in another Ferrari 12th. And the Moroccan guy back here in his Michelin sponsored Porsche. So, without further ado, we shall start on board with Total Rose here in 6th place. So, are the drivers ready? Countdown is beginning. Total Rose there flashing his lights, even though no one's got started, so no one is bothered, mate. Thank you very much. Here we go, revving their engines, and we're about to get underway. Here we go. And the lights are off, and they're off. Good start there by Aaron. Oh, this looks... There's 4 cars coming into the first corner here, side by side. Oh, there's contact all over the place. Back on board here with Total Rose, more contact, drivers fighting for position. And oh dear, oh dear, the Ferrari driver of Aaron there has been spun out. 5.9 for artistic impressions, music there for that spin in on board. A Moroccan guy like a torpedo up the inside, goes way too deep, nearly takes Beserker out, but Beserker takes it back. So let's go back up to the front. Oh, there's a lot of action going on here. Is that there we go, the 558 has dropped down from 3rd back to 7th place. More shenanigans going on just a little bit behind, but he's fighting for position. Savage ahead, looking up the inside of the Citroen, but look at this, side by side, Zafiro and Holy Pete. Pete holding his line, the force is strong with that one. And he's also, oh, a little nudge there on MacGyver in 2nd, so here's the real main battle going on here. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, by a split seconds, it's allowing Beserker to pull away. Oh, and here we are with Dragon, he's on board as well. Wow, close stuff here. Line astern, come the boys. MacGyver in 2nd. Holy Pete 3rd. Zaf in 4th. Let's go back up this way. Here we go. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. Oh, contact there by Pete. He's squirming about. He's taken quite a lot of curbing there, and it unbalanced him, and he nudged Zaf, but Zaf has kept his line. So let's go board with Zaf here, looking at the exhaust pipes of this Porsche. Oh, he gets it wrong on the entry into that fast corner, nudges Pete there a little bit, but it's fine. There's not much, hasn't pushed him too far ahead. So the Porsche boys now 1, 2. Oh no, it's not 1, 2, 3. Of course, it's Beserker in the lead. He's With all this shenanigans going on behind, it's leaving the door open for him to just pull away from everyone else. Zafiro, beautiful liveried Red Bull Honda NSX there, hunting down Holy Pete. Oh, and he pushes the Porsche wide. Can Pete force his way back up inside as Zafiro? No, he's thinking about it. He's thinking, oh, slight contact again. Braking late. It's gone very deep. He's blocked Zaf, but it's still clean. And there's now the Eagle. He's now got past Zaf. It's very tight here. So the Citroen driver now looking at third place here. At the tailpipes of the Dutch driver there. He's starting to pull away from Zaf in 5th place. Out brakes himself off the track goes Dragon Eagle. And Pete is still squirming about with that Porsche. We know, and he's onto the grass again. He didn't learn from Brands Hatch. That car is not a lawnmower, but he seems to want to make it go on the grass quite a lot. That's allowed Savage now to take Pete into 4th place. Can Pete undercut him? Taking a lot of curve, and he has. He's got right underneath Savage. Great move there by Pete. And that's just allowed Beserker now to catch up with Savage and these boys fighting for position here. Wow, it's a little bit bumpy, I have to say, from these boys. They keeping it on track generally. Oh, Beserker looked up the inside of Savage there. Savage again in the... Pete and Savage there having trouble with the rear end of that Porsche. Seems to be squirrely, especially in these slow corners. So, coming up to the end of lap 3, we've got Bulke. Bulke in the lead here. And there goes MacGyver, and then Zaf. Pete. Here we come round the top of the curves. Zaf, Pete, Savage, Beserker. It looks like PTRT's looking up the inside. Yeah, he's got the inside there of Zaf. Nice move there into turn 1. Slams the brakes on. Puffs of smoke coming from the screaming tyres there. But Zaf consistently keeping it clean is now right up the tailpipes again on that Porsche. This is an interesting one. Who's got the power down this straight here? Oh, and Zaf's going around the outside. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Pete holds his line. It's exciting stuff here by the boys. So Beserker's not really caught too much up with Savage, so this is where it's actually... Zaf looks up the inside of Pete there. Was there a little indication there from Pete saying go to my right? And he's pushed Pete wide, but Pete's coming back up the inside again. Can he... They have a lot of curve there. So Zaf's retaken 3rd position. Can he hold it around these tight corners? See the Porsche's losing traction. Wants to slip away there. Pete looking up the inside of Zaf, slight little nudge, bundles his way through. Oh, and Zaf taps him on the way back out, but they're still on track, so it's no penalties for given for that either. So Pete and Zaf having a right on ding dong of about here. Great stuff by the boys. But all that's doing is just allowing Savage and Beserker and now Eagle to catch right up with them. So Berger's still a little way off the pace. So we go back up here with Beserker to watch the 3. No, let's go over Savage to watch these boys. So Beserker's not going to quite catch him here. So coming into turn 1. Lap 5 already. Wow, lots happened already. Zaf choosing where a random sort of braking point there. He put his dab in his brakes as he came into the first corner. Pete's gone very wide at turn 2. Well, that was 3, sorry. So turn 4 here. This is the corner a lot of drivers are saying they don't like. Oh, Pete's gone very wide. Missed the apex by miles, but manages to keep it on the track, avoiding penalties. But what's happened up here? I thought I saw one of these boys goes wide. No, it doesn't look like it was. So let's go back up here. So Zaf looking up the inside of Pete again at that corner. A slight little bump. Love tap. Can Pete come back round the inside? He's loose under braking. There's a lot of those tyres must be worn out. Savage Caught right up with Pete. And then Pete's got wide and he spun it. Oh dear, disaster. Disaster for the Dutchman. And he smashes into the barrier. Oh dear. I hope the driver's all right there. No, there's no whiplash damage. So anyway, hopefully that's given these boys a bit of breathing space now. So we're on board with Beserker-Boy, chucking in 135 so far. Cuts the inside curb there in the last corner, trying to get a nice run out. Up the start, finish straight. The longest straight on the circuit. So Pete, Holy Pete has dropped back into 8th position now after he was fighting for 3rd. Disaster for him. Also disaster for Total Rose, who's not in the top 8 at the moment. We'll come back to him later. See how he's getting on. On board with Beserker-Boy at the moment, looking at the tail end of Savage. So while we have a little breather, let's quickly go through the field out in front, imperiously out in front. Probably getting a bit bored now that he's not seen anyone since the first corner. Here's Bulke. MacGyver in the Team Firestone Porsche has got Bulke in his sights. MacGyver's chucking in 133.8 there. What was Bulke doing? 133.6. So matching times for these two boys. It might be a case of who flinches first between those. Is Bulke going to lose it at all? So here we are on 3rd place at the moment, Zafiro 135, and Savage now with Beserker right close behind him. On board with Beserker now, he's caught right up with his teammate, looking up the inside carefully, make sure he doesn't contact him. It was tiniest of taps there. Beserker looks like he wants to get past his teammate. Is his teammate going to make it easy for him? No, he's not. Well, but Savage took Beserker brakes late there. Right, here we go. Last turn. It shows Beserker. That Porsche's powerful. We know it's good here. It's got lots of pace. The Beserker and the other Ferrari boys have been struggling compared to the Porsches on this circuit. So to be honest, Beserker's he was qualified 8th, I think it was. Be happy he's already gained 3 positions. He's thinking about the turn 1. Drifts wide, trying to undercut now for the long straight. Coming into turn 4, Savage, that tail end of that Porsche is drifting wide again. Here we go, Beserker's just worked in exactly how Beserker thought. He's looking up the inside already. He might not need a toe. Side little tap to Savage. Is he going to hold it outside there? Beserker and the Ferrari. Savage in the Porsche. Savage goes well wide. It gives the place to Beserker. So just the pressure there from Beserker has forced his teammate wide. So Beserker now back up into 4th. Savage back to 5th. The Berger is pulled out, is in a little bit of no man's land now between Savage. Well, Savage just had a little bit of trouble there, and behind in Seamus. So here's Seamus, and Seamus and Pete now. So this is the closest. But he's taken a massive amount of curb there. We really are going to have to put some. What happened there? It seemed like Seamus just sort of got a poor drive out of the second hairpin, and just allowed the Porsche of PTRT just to drift by, just cruise by. So PTRT back up there into 7th. So up here now we've got Berger, chicken or beef, we're not quite sure. Looking at the back end of that Porsche, we need to do some investigating on what kind of burger he actually is. Has he got a toe here for Savage into turn 1? No, that Porsche. Defensive line there from very defensive line there from Savage. Takes the inside line. Berger trying to undercut. It's not worked out for Savage, that defensive line, because it's just allowing these drivers to come up the inside, just like Beserker on the lap before. We've got Berger right over the tail end of that Porsche, coming down into turn 4. Beautifully. There was a slight little tap there. That's pushed Savage wide. Savage retakes his place. He's probably going to be given a penalty for that, although it wasn't necessarily his fault. Is the time going to be given a penalty? No, he's not. That's fair play from the game for a change. A little love tap there from Berger saying, "Hello, Savage. How are you? I'm here." Savage is looking very defensive, and even under slow speed, the Porsche getting sideways there. A much more controlled Citroen, but all this is doing is allowing the other Porsche of Pete to undertake the Berger at that second hairpin. What a move. Great clean move there. Seamus has caught up with the Berger as well now. So he dropped back to 8th. He's back up to 6th. He's looking at 5th. Pete's having an interesting race to say the least. So Savage he's struggling with that Porsche, unlike the drivers in front of him, I have to say, but he's definitely got the pace, this Savage. But here comes Pete. Start finish straight. Cruising up the inside of Porsche. Savage giving the other, showing a lot of respect there to the Dutchman by giving him a nice open door. Oh, the Dutchman doesn't repay him though. Gives the Savage a little nudge. Savage takes it back again at turn 1. Undercuts. Savage turn 2. Slight little nudge there at turn 3. Allows Pete to get back in front. Holy Pete. You're certainly... Yeah, you've got a nice big run on Savage now. But so we're back on board with Powerberg. Again looking at Savage here on turn 4. Savage see the Porsche drifting wide. Something technically must be wrong with Savage's Porsche. It's struggling in these slow corners. In the meantime, now let's stick with this just for a minute, because it looks like the field's spread out a little bit at the moment. So Bulke's cruising out in front. Bulke's now coming around the start finish straight. Sorry, this last turn to the start finish, and so is MacGyver. And while these boys here are back in 7th, so it's about a third of a lap behind the leaders, not too far behind. Berger in the shell-powered Citroen, looking at that, frankly, it looks like hard to handle Porsche of Savages in 6. Here we go, fastest part of the circuit. Berger, who's done a 1:34.9 as his fastest lap. Savage 1:35.3 is his fastest, but let's see the Porsche cruising away from the Citroen here, start finish straight. Oh, and Seamus has, I missed that. Seamus has caught it right up with the boys. Nice, gave Berger a nice little tap there, which is kind of like pushed Berger up the road a little bit here to Savage. So here we go, turn 4, lap 10. Berger looking up the inside of Savage. Oh, he's got it wrong. He's tapped Savage. Oh dear, poor Savage. And Berger, oh, unintentional, but Berger has blocked Savage's route back onto the track, so Savage has crashed again, which has allowed the Ferrari of Rose to cruise past everyone, back up to 7th place. Seamus now 6. Holy Pete in the Porsche, hunting down Beserker-Boy. Holy Pete's chucking him 1:34.5 times there. He's definitely got the pace to catch Beserker-Boy up. So who are Beserker-Boy in 4th? Wow, look at those lap times. Talk about consistent. 35, 35, 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 9 laps in 1:35s. No quicker, no slower. Consistency there from the Firestone boy. Zaf now is on his own in the NSX. He's doing 1:34.9s. 1:33.7 by MacGyver up here in 2nd place. And Bulke 1:33.5. So the cream of the crop is definitely rising to the top. Right on board here with Bulke for a few corners, while I have a sup of tea to get my breath back. It doesn't feel like there's been much in the way of quiet period. Oh, nice cup of tea. So let's go to the bottom of the field. Here we go. In 11th place at the moment. We'll go from the bottom of the way up. And I have to say, that's a lovely livery there, the Tamiya of Skivitt. Skivitt's a Scotsman. He wouldn't explain where his name comes from, so we just have to guess. Your guess is as good as mine. The Moroccan guy. The torpedo on track, as they call him. Managing to hold it today. It's in 10th place. In the Ghostbusters themed Michelin Man, Stave Puffed Marshmallow Man, yellow Ferrari, yellow Porsche, the Berger. Oh, Savage and Berger are at it again. They're still jockeying for position here in 8th and 9th, on board with the Berger. I'm going for chicken. Here we go, chicken burger. Chicken power burger. No, sorry. It's probably beef burger, isn't it? Or falafel. Or maybe bean. We shall find out for the next race. Looking up the inside there of Savage Turbo. And Savage, like, my word, if there was a competition for drifting, I think Savage would win this hands down. But unfortunately, it's a racing series, not a drift series. Savage has, I think he's spent more time drifting sideways around corners than any other driver in this series championship so far. Berger learning from his lesson from the previous time and eases off massively early there. So these two now fighting for 8th and 9th. Let's go back up the field here. Rose is catching up to the Beamer of Seamus. Seamus, who always seems a bit slower at this hairpin. So in 6th place up here. I'll tell you what, the Ferrari boy of Aaron, he must be quite happy he's got up to 7th place after being dead last at turn 3 after he hit the grass and spun off. Maybe he needs to take some lessons of how to drive on grass from Holy Pete, who seems to think his Porsche is a lawnmower. I think there might be some profit gain by putting a rotary blade underneath the Porsche of Holy Pete, because he seems to want to be cutting a lot of grass, especially at every apex corner. And here we go with Rose looking up the inside of Seamus. Seamus, to be fair, has given Rose a lot of room there. Coming into the turn 1, Rose has got him. Let's go back to this view. No, he hasn't. Wow, the Beamer. Oh, took a lot of curb there. Beamer's not giving up easy. Go, Seamus. But Rose has got him now. Rose. Oh, Seamus. Oh, they morphed into each other there. Heavy under braking, but then both managed to hold it. So let's go back up the field then. So where were we? So here we are. Seamus in the HKS sponsored Beamer, following Rose in the, not quite sure what kind of sponsor his is, but we'll have to find out for the next race. Seamus looking up the inside of Rose here in the second hairpin, sorry. He's side by side, he's got him as well. Wow. Seamus, fine Irish, not giving up. But Rose has got the inside line here. Can Seamus undercut him? What's the Beamer power like? Not many drivers in the Beamer of this series. He's got a perfect position for a toe here on the Ferrari. Can he make it stick coming into turn 1? One of the best passing places on the whole circuit. Who's going to flinch first? Seamus, he's trying to go around the outside. Bold move, but doesn't work. Oh, again, he seems a bit like the Porsche there, Seamus. He seems to be a little bit kind of hard to get the power down in that Beamer, it looks like. So, what kind of Sparko, whatever that is, not quite sure what sponsorship that is. It's still a quite boring livery, I have to say. Aaron, do better for next week, please. So, Pete here in the HKS Porsche, trying to close up on the Ferrari of Beserker, who is now into I think the only lap he's not done a 1:35 was his first. Well, lap 13 and he's still doing 1:35s. No quicker, no slower, 1:35s across the board. How is that for consistency? Team manager's dream. If only he was about a second a lap quicker, 1:34s, and he'd be right up front. So again, Zafiro Up here, on his own in the third place. He's had a nice tussle early on in the race. We've got 7 minutes to go on lap 15. Have to say, I think that NSX has got the best livery of any of the drivers here. I think he's slightly changed it a little bit from the last race as well, but that Honda looks superb coming around these corners. If you excuse the expression, it's pure car porn with that car. So MacGyver in second place, is still going back up the field. Again, quite a boring race for him, I have to say. He's not seen much action since the beginning of the race. He's not really caught up with Beserker. He's done a 1:33.7 though, and Beserker's done a 1:33.5, so still the fastest lap. 7 minutes to go. Everything seems to be settling down now. I'm just looking to see where the closest sort of battles are. So we'll go back round 2. Let's go down the field this time. So here we are, Beserker, who's going down the first straight on lap 16. And MacGyver, Zafiro just going over the start-finish straight. Beserker-Boy on his own at the moment. PTRT. Here we are on board with PTRT in 5th. Rose still a way off. I said PTRT, Holy Pete in 5th. Total Rose here in 6th. Seamus losing that Ferrari in 7th. Savage losing the wheel to live with that Porsche in 8th. Berger still behind Savage in 9th. This is really at the moment, as things stand, with 6 minutes to go now, the only sort of battle on the field. Berger going around the outside here of Savage. Can he? That's a very ambitious move. Now trying to undercut Savage, and takes a huge amount of curb there. Surely he's gonna. Yes, he got a penalty for that. Got a second penalty. That was too much curb. This circuit does seem to be a bit of a bugbear with drivers for penalties. So here we are at turn 4. Anyone touching that green on the outside of this, on the right, just there, gets an instant half-second penalty, and it's not really an advantage, so don't particularly understand why. But as you can see, a lot of the drivers here have got these penalty markers above their head. It's not that they're driving dirty, it's just that the track limits here at Interlargos seem to be very strict indeed. Berger of the beef type looking to take Savage second hairpin. He must be sick and tired of seeing the back end of that Firestone Porsche. He's been behind it now for quite a few laps. Speaking of liveries though, check the Berger's new livery out. Wow, I mean, liking the Shark. That's a nice livery, and he's got past Savage now, coming across the start-finish straight, but the Porsche is quick. Here they come around the start-finish straight. Still ahead of Savage here. Let's go on board. Savage looking up the outside. These two boys having a right off fight, but Berger's got the line. Can he hold it under braking? Yes, he can. Savage now, can he undercut Berger down this second long straight and take him at that corner where Berger took Savage? Let's just check this out, because I've just noticed there's another battle brewing a bit further up. No, Savage taking it far too careful there, might have been given a penalty. So let's go a bit further up the field, where Seamus in 7th is on his own, but Rose is now catching up to Holy Pete. If Rose can get up to 5th place, that would be a massive result for him, considering how far back he's had to come. Rose doing 34, so he's the quicker Ferrari driver. As we know, Beserker up there in 4th is consistently doing 35s. If you look down the lap times there of Total Rose, he's put in a few 34s and 35s and a 36, so a little bit less consistent, so probably evens out. at 35 anyway. But see, that Porsche is just pulling away from each and every manufacturer across the start-finish straight. But the Ferrari, and this is why the Ferrari boys like this car, seems very controllable. It doesn't seem to have quite as much grunt as everyone else. But it's definitely easier under braking and gets a good... I think the Ferrari, from what I've heard from Beserker especially, it's accurate going into corners, but the Ferrari seems to doesn't bite that well on the way out. Just seems to doesn't lose traction, just doesn't have the torque of the Porsche. Oh, so Rose drifting there. This is interesting though, because you can see 4th place Beserker is just a corner or so away. And at the moment, this is most certainly the closest battle highest up the field. Bulke, MacGyver and Zaf having a very quiet race. Great result for Zaf there. I've just realised what happened to the 558. What happened to 558? He was having a good race. Have to investigate that, see if there's anything that stewards need to get involved with. But 558 was 3rd. I'm not sure where he's gone off to. I have to find out about that. Missed that one, unfortunately. So as you can see here, look, the Ferrari can't catch even with a draft the Porsche, but is good under braking. So he's side by side now through turn 2. Rose trying to use advantage of when the penalty is scrubbed off that car in front. The car will ghost. He's only got 0.7 of a second to scrub off, but if you ghost drive through, oh, too much curve there from Aaron. He's trying to take too much inside curve there to get an advantage. He's been given a penalty for it. Doesn't look like he has actually. Everything a bit static now with just a minute or so to go. Rose looking up the inside of Pete. So I'm going to go back for the final. Looks like the final. Oh no, should I or not? I'm going to have to. Let's go back up to the leader, who's crossed the line. 30 minutes now. So that means MacGyver's finished 2nd. Here we go. MacGyver's finished 2nd. It looks like Borke's going to finish 1st. 30 minutes is up. So here we are on board with Zaf for an excellent 3rd place for him. Beserker, he must be relieved to be 4th considering how slow he is. And let's look, he's done a 139. He must have made a mistake on lap 14 and 136, but basically 35 is possible for a 4th place. Rose has got, wow, here we go. Rose has got past PTRT. Oh, is he going to make? Who's going to get? Holy Pete! Holy hell! Pete on the line gets the Rose at 6. And Seamus was right up again with them at this. Rewind that back and just see how that transpired coming into these last few turns here, because that was exciting. So there's still quite a distance between the boys here coming into the last turn. But for some reason, everything just concertinaed up. Was Aaron trying to scrub off his penalties? Here we go. At this moment in time, this is the last lap. Let's go on board, and Aaron arrogantly flashing his lights at Pete, but Pete gets into Porsche power, gets into 5th place. 6 is Aaron, 7th is Seamus. So we're going back to the Power Burger here in 8th. Scrubbing up his penalty, gets it there. Savage coming across the line now in 9th. The Moroccan guy coming around the last bend now. 10th. Still a way off. Skivett will be in 11th. Dragon Eels retired, and here comes Bulke to finish the line to officially win the race. Congratulations, Bull K. Nice, good, clean racing there from him. Okay, we shall see you for the next race, which will be Dragon Trail Seaside. We shall be airing that a little bit later on today, so thank you for watching and hope to see you for the next race soon.